Welcome to Sonic Sciences. There are stories that entertain. There are stories that inform. And then there are stories that reprogram reality. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, but literally. These are not just tales or myths or shows. They are living constructs, engineered from intention, built into form, and charged through participation. They are known as hypersigils. A hypersigil is an extended and intentional work of art, which is designed to manifest specific outcomes in reality. They unfold and expand over time. Where a traditional sigil compresses meaning into symbol, a hypersigil stretches meaning through time. It unfolds as a narrative, as a structure, a character, a world, a totally focused work. It can be a book, a film, or a YouTube channel. It takes various forms: a persona, a movement, a mask, and especially a myth. They can be public or private. A whisper like a secret or a grand and public spectacle. But at its core, it's ultimately the same thing. An encoded intention carried by story, then amplified through resonance and sustained by engagement. It is not a fixed object. It is a living mechanism, a vessel for vibration that grows stronger as more people participate and engage with it. The hypersigil begins with intention. You don't create it to tell a story. You create it to install a frequency, to project a vision into shared space. But you don't cast it with words alone. You build it in form, something that can evolve, something others can interact with. A fictional character that mirrors your future self. A song that encodes your personal transformation. A narrative arc that becomes more accurate over time. Once launched, the hypersigil becomes a self-replicating vibrational loop. You feed it with attention. Others feed it with reflection. And over time, it begins feeding back. Synchronicities, patterns, shifts in behavior, outcomes that seem designed. Because they were. By you, yingi in you aside, through the sigil. The deeper your intention, the more potent the loop. At first, it feels like fiction, then it starts to echo your life. Then it starts to shape it. The hypersigil is not passive. It is interactive metaphysics. Once you write it, speak it, and share it, it begins to entangle with your field. You created it. But now it is co-creating you. It shows up in dream, in dialogue, and in mirrors you didn't expect. It's not haunted. It's alive. But even the most elegant spellcraft depends on structure. The hypersigil cannot be brittle. It cannot demand resolution. It must allow contradiction to remain in motion. This is where the glyph appears. The ampersand is not a conjunction. It is a spiral key, a visual expression of paradox made stable. It indicates this and that, chaos and clarity, laughter and grief, the grotesque and the divine. It does not resolve, it permits. In hypersigil construction, the ampersand is your architectural hinge. It allows your mythos to expand without collapsing. It lets you carry opposite charges without grounding out. Without it, your narrative becomes dogma. With it, it becomes living myth. No hypersigil survives in isolation. It is not a solitary act. It is a shared frequency. A story that needs others to stay alive. Not because it requires belief, but because it thrives on interaction. When someone laughs at your character, quotes your line, shares your scene, they've echoed your spell. They've fed your circuit and joined the current. You've infected their field with your signal. This is how culture is coded. This is how new realities are written. Not with institutions, but with contagious stories charged by intention. The hypersigil is the quiet revolution of frequency. It changes the world not through force, but through narrative resonance. If you've been building something that carries your vision, if you've embedded meaning in your work, if you've noticed strange alignments, echoes, synchronicities, and loops, you're in it. You're already living inside a hypersigil. And if you haven't built one yet, you will. Because this isn't theory. This is the mechanism behind all high-level creation. This is the real reason stories matter. Not because they entertain, but because they encode architecture. And once you understand that you don't just tell stories anymore, you build systems of becoming. So, here's the work. If you're going to build with intention. If you're going to speak with resonance. If you're going to entertain, let it be alive. And when you need to hold contradiction, when you need to spiral instead of snap, use the ampersand. It's more than a glyph. It's the twist in the current, the hinge in the spell, the sacred permission to carry all of it, without resolution. You are not here to finish. You are here to extend. You are here to spiral forward. The ampersand embodies connection and empowerment, not as a conclusion, but as the animating force behind unity and the collaborative momentum personified. Remember, everything is vibration, and everything is moving at all times. I encourage you to click the like button, make a comment, and most importantly, subscribe, synthesize, and synchronize with total vibrational vitality